Investigators braver and bolder. You know, they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but boulders would obliterate me. Mango and Brash are back in their 5th epic novel, and when I say epic, I mean holy frosted donuts, just look at this cover! What in the X-Men alien abduction freaky radioactive Ghostbusters farts is going on? This is my favorite cover of any book so far. It just screams you're about to see some Avengers Endgame type action going down, so you better have a seatbelt on. And I feel like that's exactly what John has prepared for us this time. But before I go any further, if you haven't already gotten your copy of Braver and Bolder, there is a link in the description. I highly recommend reading it. And if you're new to Investigators and want to read the previous 4 books before I spoil anything, there's links in the description to where you can get those as well. Go support John Green and all those who worked their tailblazers off on this series. And now, let's continue. Let's recap. Mega Robo Brash just launched the Maestronaut and 3 giant ants in the cold vacuum of space and onto the moon like Goku did to a rabbit in Dragon Ball. Soon after, Mega Robo Brash went Terminator mode and set out to destroy Mango because he got his memories back. Brash makes an epic return and Robo Brash decides to blow himself up. Not the answer. There's an intense chapter where they jump inside Robo Brash's nose and give him the worst sinus infection ever, shutting down Robo Brash for good and stopping the self-destruct sequence. Now a giant robot version of Brash looms over the city while Suit HQ is being repaired. Which brings us to the beginning of Braver and Bolder, where the streets are clean and crime is at an all-time low, leaving Mango bored and Brash with an anxiety level higher than a mentally unstable pussycat. But alas, a mission from the chief. We meet some familiar faces and some new ones. Turns out it was dry cleaning, but it's a segue to introducing Boulder Buddies. Cute little dinkins. Mango and Brash go back to their InvestiGators and watch some news. The most relevant thing going on is the antique shop selling the Boulder Buddies, and Brash believes something nefarious is going on. How could it be shady though? She's just a simple business owner. It's not like some people I know who dig through the trash and sell it as a highly overpriced antique. But nightfall comes and Angie is on the phone with her mother getting allergies all over the place when she's approached by an anonymous glow. She screams rock mobster and breaks her iPhone. Hopefully she has insurance. Like I always say, you should never judge a book by its cover. But how could you think this is bad? Aside from that, here's what I think is going to happen before I read the book. The investigators will be adjusting to the new headquarters and the instant fame, which might cause some troubles later on. Daryl will slowly make a comeback as a radioactive rock, as evident from the Avengers-style after-credits sequence at the end of the last book. Cilantro might have some more inner battles just becoming a field agent, and it's time for Brash to face Daryl head-on and tell him how he really feels face-to-face. And I think the investigators will actually lose in this book. That's right. But we will see what happens. So let's get reading. There's that hair on the microphone. Hold on. I need a minute. This book was a roller coaster of emotions, but I'll save my opinion and go deeper later on. First, let's get to review this masterpiece. If you're new here, this is how I do my reviews. I'm going to be basing my rating off of 4 main things. 1, was the theme lesson clear? 2, was the plot easy to follow? 3, was the story immersive? Were my eyeballs glued to the pages? And number 4, overall, did I enjoy the experience? That's good, I'm keeping it.
Was the theme or lesson clear?
I don't really know what the overall theme is. At least, not at first. I had to really look into it, and I think I have what the theme is. I'm not a smart man, but I know what themes is. To me, the overall theme is acceptance. That's probably the best I could come up with. I don't really know if I'm right, but that's what I'm going with. There's just so much going on and so much that John has put in place that this seems like just a good old mystery adventure at first. It's not until the end that the theme and the lesson of the story really becomes clear to me. You get a lot of things going on at once, and toward the end you learn that the characters have to learn to accept their actions and the consequences that follow, to accept change, and to accept everything that's happened in the past and try to move forward. It just seems that from the very beginning, this book is just a fun mystery with twists and turns along the way, and by the end I was like, oh, There it is. And going back to the beginning, I began to see the theme in different places leading up to the end. So it wasn't clear at first, but it became clear later.
Was the plot easy to follow?
John's mastery of storytelling really shines through in this book. The most notable thing to me was he introduces a lot of new characters, which can be a bit of a challenge considering there's already an established list of characters and personalities. But John introduces them all in an interesting way that keeps the story flowing smoothly and enhances the plot. Along with that, I feel John went back to how the first book was, with a mystery hanging over the investigators' heads that have many twists and turns, and the whole plot was based around that. It takes 4 chapters for the mystery to get off the ground, and the whole book is heavy with puns and wordplay, but it adds to the silliness of the characters, which I enjoy. Overall, from beginning to end, I never felt John strayed from the story, and every mystery was answered by the end.
Was the story immersive?
Was the story immersive? Are you kidding me? I got 17 paper cuts from turning the pages so violently to see what was coming next. The mystery was exciting. Trying to guess what was going on was fun. The characters were charming, both old and new. Every step of the way I was drawn into the story, and the end? Oh, the ending. The story sucked me into the end, and I felt that ending. No spoilers, but you would not believe how this thing ends. I thought about it for days. Heck, I still think about it. I'm a grown man. It's a story about alligators playing Scooby-Doo. Great job, John Green. You really outdid yourself. For real.
Did I enjoy the overall experience?
This has to be my favorite book in the series, Claws Down. It felt like the first book to me, where there's a mystery that the reader doesn't know everything, and slowly the pieces are put into place. I feel like books 2, 3, and 4 stray away from that and focus more on character development, and the reader knows the answer to the mystery and you're just along for the ride, watching the investigators figure it out. This one brought back that mystery element, where you just don't know what's going on. And that made it more exciting for me. It feels a lot more polished, as if John is mastering his craft. This book was a culmination of all 4 previous books building up to this one, and it was done flawlessly. I can really appreciate this type of storytelling, and the fact that everything led up to this point made this book just that much better. Now that all the elements are in place, let's give this bad boy a rating. I rate InvestiGators Braver and Boulder 8.5 boulders out of 10 boulders. Some of you are probably saying,
Wait, just a cotton rotten minute AnimaZing story? You just said this was your favorite, but you rated Ants in Her Pants higher.
and to you I say, shut your hole. It's my rating system, and I can do what I want. I was going to give it a 9.5, but it took me a while to figure out what the theme was.
And it make me angry.
Overall, this was my favorite in the series, and I don't know how, but every time John comes out with a new Investigators book, they just get better. There's already another one coming out. Investigators Heist and Seek comes out September 27th. So if you'd like to pre-order, I will leave a link in the description where you can do that. Please consider buying a copy and not just wait for me to read it. It helps support John and everyone who has a hand in creating these books so that they can continue to create more. I love the Investigators, so please go support them. And thank you all for listening. Again, links for all the books are down below. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment telling me what you thought of the book. No spoilers! And don't forget to subscribe to see more AnimaZing content. AnimaZing. Amazing. Oh, I just got that. Okay, love you, bye!